Good morning, and thanks for joining us at FRHSTV at Home. I'm Livy Ciotti.
And I'm Megan McElhaney. Thank you for joining us on our feature show this week.
This week, we will have an interview with the new band teacher.
We are so happy you are joining us today. Let's get started with the show.
The marching band has been working hard this season preparing for the football season. This year, the band has a new director. With the retirement of Mr. Kevin Pollock last year, FR hired Mr. Nick Nutter to fill his shoes. I recently sat down with Mr. Nutter to see how the band is coping with COVID restrictions this year. Hello, I am here with Mr. Nutter, the new band teacher here in the high school this year. Thank you for joining me today, Mr. Nutter.
You're welcome.
So my first question for you is, why did you want to teach band?
Sure. So the band was the one place that I felt the most comfortable and had the most fun in musically. When I was here as a student, I was involved in a lot of the musical groups and the ensembles, but the band was just kind of where I found my place. And it was actually during my senior year, I participated in the internship program that we have, and my placement was down at the middle school with Mr. Silvestro, and that was seeing firsthand, okay, this is what it's like to teach band, and I fell in love with it right then and there.
And I understand that you are an alumnus from Franklin Regional. Is it weird coming back being a teacher at the school that you also got taught at?
It is a little weird, but it's comforting in the fact that I know exactly who I can go to if I need help with anything. It's weird being on the other side of the desk, but at the same time, it's really nice to be here and be back in this place that kind of helped mold me to be the person and the teacher that I am.
Now, how are you adjusting to this new way of teaching with all of the online technology and Schoology?
Sure. So teaching band online is interesting. I've had to be fairly creative with, okay, how can we have a rehearsal with people online and in class? So it's definitely a little bit of an adjustment. I'm glad that I had some of the summer whenever I teach my private saxophone to students. I had an idea of how to use at least Zoom, but Schoology, we're just trying to keep busy and just be creative, in ways, if that's we're doing a little bit more listening, or if we're doing a little bit more of discussion things back and forth. But we're adjusting fairly well. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I'd imagine band would definitely be a hard subject to teach through a Zoom call.
It's interesting. It doesn't really work because the audio delay doesn't layer quite the right way, but we're getting through some things.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that. Now, what are your plans for the halftime show with all the COVID this year, and how is it affecting like the show and where they can go to perform as well?
Sure. So it's fortunate for me that this year Mr. Silvestri has taken the reins as the head director for the marching band. So when I came on in my role, I was able to see sort of what he had planned for us. And so this year's show is disco themed, completely what of that 70s era. And we're doing a lot more sort of playing in place and doing smaller movements, but the band gets a chance to dance a little bit and engage with the music that way. So we're no longer moving around in intricate patterns, but we're having just a little bit more fun with getting into the music without being too close together. The band looks a little bit more spread out than normal, but they still pack a really big sound too. And as far as performances go, we've had the opportunity to just do some performances for the parents and some local people from outside of the stadium. And as far as going places, we're not going to any away games, but we will have a presence at the 3 home games in October. And so we'll be around. I'll put it that way.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you still get to all the band still gets to perform their songs and stuff for the football team, because that I feel like that was a main part of band as well. Like that was the most fun for them, along with marching in parades.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, has COVID affected any future parades yet that you plan to march in? Like I believe you go up to Ligonier, and a couple other places. Has COVID affected any of that yet, or no, not really?
Absolutely. The normal fall parades that we do, those have been canceled. We're not able to go and participate there. We have our fingers crossed for the spring, that hopefully by Memorial Day, that we'll be able to participate in the export parade just like we have every other year. But we'll wait and see. We're hopeful, but we'll see what happens when the time comes.
Now, I know it's still fresh in the school year yet, but do you think any of these things that you are doing because of COVID, like how you said the band gets to dance more during their halftime show, do you think you will carry that on through like next school year still, like maybe incorporate those things more, even if COVID is gone, hopefully?
I'd say absolutely. We're learning how to do things a little bit differently, but at the same time, we can take some of those things and keep them to just add, one more creative notch into our belts as musicians and performers too.
Anything else that you would like to say about the band or COVID or anything like that?
The only thing that I can add is that it's great to be here, and I know my first thing in anything with ensembles is we're here to make music, and we're here to share that music with as many people as possible. And even though that there's a lot of uncertainty, we're not sure where we're going to go from here. We will do our absolute best to share as much music as we can, with everybody here and everybody out in the community.
Well, I thank you for joining me today and answering all the questions that I have for you. I wish you and the band the best for this school year and the school year that follows. And now we're going to head back to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nutter. The Pittsburgh Science and Engineering Fair is open to STEM-minded high school students. This year's competition will be March of 2021. Please reach out to Mr. Binning at the middle school via email or Schoology about the details if you are interested in participating. Applications for Science National Honor Society are now available and due no later than Friday, October 23rd. Applications can be accessed through the discussion post in the Schoology group FR Science National Honor Society. The group is public, so all students can access it. Additional information or questions, see Mrs. Bess in room 101 or Dr. Connolly in room 103.
Online learning has created an unusual situation for the art department this year when it comes to physical artwork. For many years, students at Franklin Regional create art pieces that are displayed in the school for others to enjoy. In order to gather more art pieces for the display, the art teachers are requesting students to submit any 2D or 3D artwork that you may have completed in the past that you would agree to having displayed. You don't have to be enrolled in art class to participate. This can be work you did over the summer or even last year in school. If you wish to submit a work of art or for display, please contact Ms. Mazzina and Ms. DeSantis for details. Thanks for joining us today.
We will bring you another feature episode next Wednesday at 10:18. See you then.
Have a great day, Panthers.